Are we all set? Yes. Good evening, everyone. My name's Julie Oka, and I'm the Associate Principal of Elyria High School. It's my pleasure to welcome you all here tonight for the Senior Awards Ceremony. Tonight, we're joined by community members to recognize and honor students that have put forth exceptional effort in their 4 years of high school. Parents and families, we appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us. First of all, I want to acknowledge all of the staff members that are in attendance tonight. We have Mrs. Ann Schloss, Elyria City Schools Superintendent. Mrs. Natalie Matthews, Director of Academic Services. Miss Amy Higgins, Director of Communications for Elyria City Schools. Mr. Jim Bax, School Board Vice President. Mr. Tim Brown, Elyria High School Building Principal. Katie Calamaz, Team 2 Principal. Chad Huser, Team 4 Principal. Jackie Anderley, College and Career Counselor and Senior Class Advisor. Betsy Trump, Freshman School Counselor. Mr. John Cake, Team 3 Counselor. This is Mr. Cake's last Senior Awards ceremony. In case you haven't heard, he's retiring this year, so, very sad. Mrs. Elizabeth Holland, Team 4 Counselor. Mr. J.R. Simons and the EPAC crew for putting on this wonderful presentation. And last but not least, you see her still running around, Miss Michelle Kirsch. She's the Team 1 Counselor. And Miss Courtney Griffiths, Team 1 Principal. They are both responsible for putting on the ceremony, so thank you. Tonight we're proud to celebrate students that have excelled despite the uncertainty they faced this year. Not only did these students persevere, but they proved that their will to succeed is stronger than any pandemic. Tonight we're grateful to be part of celebrating their academic success. We have many members of the community here tonight to give out different awards, and I'm going to call each group up separately. So without any further ado, we first have Community Foundation of Lorain County with Miss Angela Lee.
Good evening. This is really different. I'm so used to looking that way where all the students are. I know, it's a habit. But congratulations to all of our 2021 graduates. You are almost there. You'll be able to turn your tassel over in just a few more days. I have the privilege of standing here to present a few awards to Elyria High School seniors. We have over 49 funds at our foundation, and we give out over $350,000 a year to Lorain County seniors and those who are in college as well. So at this time, I would like to present to Rochelle Bridges for the Robert E. Bass Scholarship. Okay, here she comes, okay. And that's for $1,500. The next person I would like to call up is Lauren Schweitzer. She's a recipient of 2 of our scholarships, the Myron and Eleanor Colby. One is for $2,000 and the other is for $4,000. Congratulations. Brendan Shibley for the Walter and Virginia Nord $3,000 scholarship. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Zaria Todd for the Geraldine Zahars Memorial Scholarship for nurses, and that's for $5,000. Oh, there she is. I gotta look all over now. The next one is Taylor Mell for the Geraldine Zahars Memorial Scholarship, and that's for $5,000. Congratulations. Taylor, congratulations. Thank you. Last but not least, I have the Dr. Robert and Eleanor Stevenson Family Scholarship, and this recipient will have his name placed on a plaque that will be standing in the Elyria High, wherever they display their awards. And this family is just really passionate about Elyria High students. The student works, the student goes to school, the student does community service, various different things, and those were all the criteria that was needed in order for this recipient to receive this award, and that's Justin Pandy for $5,000. Congratulations to you. Thank you so much. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you very
It is so different. Usually we have the kids in one section, so I'm doing the same. I keep looking this way to talk. Next we have the Schmidt family presenting the Kimberly Ann Schmidt Memorial Music Scholarship. Or Miss Bonzio. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Good evening and congratulations, graduates. I'm Melissa Schmidtgen. My sister Kim is who this scholarship has been established for. She was a student here back in the 1980s. Eons ago to you guys, seems like yesterday to me. But unfortunately, fortunately, she was very passionate about her music. She was highly involved in the music departments and drama. Unfortunately, she had cancer and passed away at the age of 16. And to honor her memory, our family has established this scholarship to support the music department from Elyria High School. This year, we had some wonderful candidates, but there was one definitely that stood out from the rest. We've heard nothing but great things about how active she's been with the music community and how supportive and well-organized she is, not to mention her academics are great. So we are very, very pleased to present this one-time $4,000 scholarship to Parker Scott.
Next, we have Miss Mary Jane Berger from the Daughters of the American Revolution, Good Citizen Award.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here, and again, congratulations to all seniors. The DAR Good Citizen Scholarship Contest is intended to encourage and reward students who demonstrate the qualities of dependability, service, leadership, and patriotism. Each school can select one student who exhibits those qualities, and then that student is eligible to go on and participate in the scholarship portion of the contest, which includes an essay. The Nathan Perry chapter has invited all the schools in Lorain County to participate, and it is very competitive. So this year's winner was from Elyria, and she was not only the Nathan Perry chapter winner, but her application and essay advanced, and she is also the Northeast District, Ohio winner. So it is my privilege to present Parker Scott with this check certificate and to recognize her outstanding achievements. Congratulations. We have a certificate. There's also a pin in here, so this is the check. So it's so nice to meet you. And yes, you too, and we wish you all the best going forward. Congratulations. Thank you.
Next, we have Mr. Joel Siniger giving the Helen Scholarship and the Dr. Mark Sutter Scholarship.
Good evening. I'm Joel Siniger, president of the Elyria Schools Endowment Board. We are a group of 13 volunteers made up of former and current teachers, former students of the Elyria Schools, and parents of current Elyria School students. During a typical school year, teachers in the classroom come up with creative projects to engage their students. These projects usually cost money, monies that the teachers should not have to pay for out of their own pockets, and monies that the individual schools haven't earmarked for that school year. That is where we come in. We host a yearly golf outing and use a percentage of our profits to fund those projects. To date, we have granted over $500,000 to Elyria school teachers for their projects. The other part of our, what's the word I want to use? The other part that we enjoy doing is presenting the scholarships that we are here to do tonight. First, the Helen Scholarship. The founders of the Helen Scholarship wish to remain anonymous. However, they do direct that the award goes to an Elyria High graduate pursuing a degree in the field of nursing. This year's $1,000 recipient is Taylor Mell. Congratulations. Thank you. Dr. Mark Sutter was a brilliant educator and administrator. At the time of his unexpected death in 2011, he was serving the district as Director of Academic Services. Dr. Sutter was actively involved in the design and construction of this magnificent facility we call Elyria High School. One of his legacies that he left us, while completely logical in his mind, is its room numbering system. You will know you are nearing graduation or retirement when you are able to walk directly to a specific room number without confusion. A memorial to Dr. Sutter can be found on the east wall of the Performing Arts Center lobby. He cared deeply about this district and its students and certainly served us well for many years. This year's $1,000 recipient of the Mark Sutter Memorial Scholarship goes to Justin Pandy. Congratulations. Thank you, sir. All right. Thank you very much.
Next, we have our drama director, Mr. Robert Graves, for the Thespian Troupe 946 Scholarship.
To be applicable for this scholarship, the candidates must be an exemplary student in the EHS Drama Club, and they must be an inducted member into the International Thespian Society. The candidates this year have been outstanding students in theater the past 4 years. The first candidate has been a leader in painting the play sets, played one of the hosts for this year's musical showcase, and was the business manager for this year's drama club. I'd like to congratulate Amelia Hale. The second candidate has been a head carpenter for many of the plays during his years here, has been an officer for 2 years, including being president for this year's drama club. He's also has played many heartfelt roles in plays and musicals. I'd like to congratulate Carson Panchoja. And lastly, the third candidate was the secretary for this year's drama club and has been the stage manager for multiple shows, wrangling everyone together to make sure the show went smoothly. I'd like to thank and congratulate Alex Thornsberry. Give them one more round of applause. Thanks, guys.
Next, we have Elyria High Band Director, Mr. Erin Putka, for the Perry Arentz Scholarship.
Good evening. A few years ago, Ken and Judy Smith established this one-time $500 scholarship in honor of Judy's brother, Perry. Perry was a musician, a drummer in particular, and a Elyria High School graduate. I've had the pleasure of talking to Judy over the past few years about her brother, and I try to find somebody every year that I think fits his personality and what reminds Judy of her brother. This year, it is Carson Panchoja.
Next, we have Mrs. Susan Bowers for the James Bowers Memorial Scholarship.
Good evening. Jim Bowers was a teacher and a football coach at Elyria Westwoods Junior High School for 26 years. Despite numerous health ailments that would have sidelined many of us, he persevered and continued to teach science, coach football, be a mentor, and exert a positive influence on students. He never gave up. He believed strongly in students striving to be their best. In fact, he believed that students should be straight A students. The recipient of this scholarship needs to demonstrate how he or she is a straight A student, meaning they excel in academics, athletics, activities, and their attitude. So the recipient tonight had an outstanding GPA of 4.2, played a variety of sports, including tennis and track and basketball and soccer, involved in numerous clubs, including Student Council, Spanish Club, and also did Safety Town for 7 years. But what really stands out again for this student was her attitude. She has a very ambitious attitude. She says, "I set a goal and I do everything I can to complete that goal to the best of my ability." This $500 scholarship goes to Kennedy Shaver. And while she's walking up, I'm going to tell you she's going to Bowling Green, which is my alma mater, to major in education, to be a teacher. So she also has to walk out with a Falcon shirt. Hey! Congratulations.
Next, we have Miss Erica Jackson for the Elyria NAACP 2021 Book Scholarship.
Good evening. I'm here on behalf of the Elyria unit of the NAACP to present our Book Scholarship Award. Every year, the unit gives book scholarships to deserving African American students. And every year, we ask an essay question. Excuse me, I'm catching my breath, y'all. This year's essay question was about the power of voting. And the young lady who we're going to present to, who is Miss Amari Davis, she wrote an excellent essay entitled, "My Power, My Vote." And what stood out to us is her retelling of her experience about voting in the last election and how that experience will stick with her, but how she closed out her essay, just knowing, having the agency, understanding the power. She said, "My vote is power, my voice is powerful, and my vote matters." So on behalf of the Elyria branch of the NAACP, we would like to present this Book Scholarship Award to Miss Amari Davis. And I'll go on because I have another one. So I'm also here on behalf of the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Thank you. You can stay right here. Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Lorain County Alumni Chapter. And again, every year we award deserving males and females scholarships, book scholarship awards for their outstanding commitment to not only their academics, but to scholarship and service. And so in that same vein, just looking at the things that Amari had accomplished over her career and her desires to go to Xavier University in Cincinnati and major in political science, and to continue the work that she's already started. And I have a feeling I know where she gets it from,
Wink, wink. On behalf of the ladies of the Lorain County Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, I present to you this book scholarship award. You're very welcome. Thank you.
Next, we have Mr. Mark Stewart with the Kiwanis Club of Elyria Scholarships, the Robert Hartman Scholarship.
On behalf of Elyria Kiwanis Club, I want to say congratulations to all the seniors and scholarship winners. Kiwanis Club serves the youth of Elyria, and it's one of our main projects. So it's with great honor that we present a scholarship on behalf of, a memorial scholarship on behalf of Robert Hartman to Lauren Schweitzer. And also our distinguished Kiwanis member Lou Kaplan, a longtime Elyria namesake, and he started the Kaplan Furniture. Sorry. Lou Kaplan started Kaplan Furniture. He was one of our great members. On behalf of his memorial scholarship, Justin Pandy. Thank you.
Next, we have Mrs. Angela Clifford and Miss Ashley Vasey for the Allie Clifford Memorial Scholarship.
Good evening. Give me 1 minute. Life is too short to be anything but happy. Saying my daughter Allie lived by. It's a bittersweet phrase for our family now because in 2012 at the sweet age of 16, Allie lost her life as a passenger in a car that the driver thought would be fun to get up to 100 miles per hour. Allie would have graduated in 2013, and to celebrate that milestone with her class, who showed so much love and support during our most difficult time, the idea of the Allie Clifford Memorial Scholarship was born. To be eligible for the scholarship, applicants must show proof of enrollment in college as a full-time student this fall, have a cumulative GPA of 2.8 or higher, and be involved in some type of an extracurricular activity. Most importantly, we ask that they write an essay on the cause and effect of reckless teen driving, with hope that a little education can prevent a tragedy like the one that devastated our family. Because as you can see, after 8 years, almost 9 years now, just the mention of Allie's name still takes our breath away. So we are proud to present this year's scholarships. We'll be giving out 7 $500 textbook and supply scholarships to Ryan Panic, Malia Abbott, Catherine Wood, Olivia Martin, Lauren Schweitzer, Tabitha Shinsky, and Taylor Mail. We're going to get a group photo for Allie's scholarship page. Thank you. Yeah.
Sure. It's okay. All right. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Next, we have the Adkins family for the Erin Adkins Memorial Scholarship. We're here this evening on behalf of our family to present the Erin Adkins Memorial Scholarship. In 2013, Mrs. Erin Adkins, a ninth grade English teacher here at Elyria High School, was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. Just 8 short months later, on April 13th, 2014, she suddenly lost her courageous battle due to complications of the disease. Erin was not only a teacher here, she was my sister, Cortland's aunt, and Shayna's mom, among leaving behind brothers, sisters, husband. She also attended Elyria City Schools and was a graduate of Elyria High School's class of 2000. She was proud to be a pioneer. Her ways of teaching may not have always been the traditional methods. Instead, she presented lessons in ways that each student could understand. She cared about her students and wanted to bring out the best that she saw in each of them. Shortly after Erin's passing, the term pioneer strong was frequently used when describing her. Despite her illness, Erin continued to live her life to the fullest. She continued to teach with enthusiasm and energy. The scholarship was created to honor Erin and to keep her memory alive by encouraging and supporting continuing education. Students applying for these awards were required to submit an essay describing what Pioneer Strong means to them. Among the applicants, 2 students were chosen to receive this award. It is a privilege to present the Erin Adkins Memorial Scholarship to this year's recipients, Taylor Mell, and Simon France.
I'm so sorry.
Next, we have Miss Erin Beese with the Comstar Credit Union, Kenneth Hicks Memorial Scholarship.
Comstar Credit Union created the Kenneth Hicks Memorial Scholarship to assist high school students in our communities with financing their post-secondary education. The scholarship rewards individuals who demonstrate their commitment to academics, to leadership, and to involvement in community activities. It is awarded in memory of the late Kenneth Hicks, who is recognized for his 30-plus years of dedication, leadership, and support to continuing education with our community credit union. We are proud to award one of our 4 scholarships for this year's Kenneth Hicks Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $1,000 to Taylor Mell. Congratulations.
Next, we have Mr. Doug McDermott for the ONeill Healthcare Scholarship.
Thank you. Each year, ONeill Healthcare awards scholarships to graduating seniors in Lorain and Cuyahoga counties who intend on pursuing a career in healthcare. Candidates are chosen based upon essays explaining why they chose healthcare, letters of recommendation, and a GPA of 3.0 or higher. This year's scholarship winner earned a GPA of 4.85 and will be attending John Carroll University, pursuing a degree in physical therapy. She is a self-described people person, enjoys helping others and making things better. I congratulate Ava Mugford, this year's ONeill Healthcare Scholarship recipient.
Next, we have Mr. James Zymnick for the Elyria Rotary Scholarship.
Good evening. My name is Jim Zimnick. I am the director of the Lorain County Metro Parks, and while I love to talk about our parks, tonight I'm here as a proud member of the Elyria Rotary Club, where I am honored to serve on the Rotary's Grants and Scholarship Committee. It is my privilege to recognize an outstanding Elyria High School senior this evening as a recipient of one of our Elyria Rotary Scholarships. For those of you who don't know, Rotary International, of which we are members, was the first service club organization. Currently, there are more than 1.3 million members in over 33,000 clubs worldwide. Rotary Club members are volunteers who work locally, regionally, and internationally to combat hunger, improve health and sanitation, provide education and job training, promote peace, and eradicate polio under the motto, service above self. You probably recognize our Elyria Rotary Club from our fundraiser of selling fried ice cream at the Elyria Apple Festival, which we're proud to be bringing back this year. Yeah, real proud. So what you may not know is that our club founded the organization that is now known as Easter Seals. A few years ago, in celebration of the Elyria Rotary Club's 100th anniversary, and to help celebrate this milestone, our club donated a substantial amount of the funding to help build the new inclusive children's playground in Cascade Park. Dedication of that centennial playground occurred a few summers ago, and the popularity and visitation continues to astound us, especially during this past year with coronavirus. Over 10 years ago, we began awarding multiple scholarships to graduating seniors from our local area high schools who best exemplified Rotary's motto of service above self. These students would have to be actively involved in community service, volunteerism, and extracurricular activities. We received over 30 applications this year. The 11 members of our scholarship committee had a challenging and difficult time making selections. All the applications were extremely impressive, and everyone who applied should be proud of their accomplishments. One of our Elyria Rotary Scholarship winners for a one-year $2,000 scholarship prides herself on doing service work and volunteering in the community. A few of her numerous service above self volunteer activities includes participating in student council for all 4 years, with this past year serving as president, Link Crew, French Club, Key Club, National Honor Society, Special Olympics, and serving as a remote volunteer for the Smithsonian transcribing historical documents. She plans to attend Brandeis University in Massachusetts, one of my favorites, to double major in history and politics while also minoring in social justice and social policy with the ultimate goal of becoming an elected official, because she strongly believes that we are all in need of someone who can be trusted and who will listen to their constituents, to which I think we can all say amen to that. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the recipient of one of the Elyria Rotary Club's one-year $2,000 scholarships, Parker Scott.
Next, we have Ms. Shirley Massaros for the Elyria Schools and Friends Alumni Association. Fred's with you? Okay, we're going to do 2 for 1 here. We have Mr. Fred Pond from Ridge Tool Community Reinvestment Scholarship also.
Good evening. As she said, my name is Shirley Massaros. I'm the president of the Elyria Schools, Friends, and Alumni Association, and a proud graduate of Elyria High School from the class of 1954. Every year, our association mails letters, including applications for SA for the students' parents to encourage the students to apply for our scholarships. We partner with Ridge Tool, and which is greatly appreciated, Fred. Our association, I'm out of breath, has been in existence for 25 years, and to date, we have given out over $150,000 to school students selected for these scholarships. Tonight with me for the presentation of over $12,000 to 13 students, Fred Pond, a graduate of Elyria High class of 1970, and he was CEO of Ridge Tool.
Retired.
Retired. I'm sorry.
Make that perfectly clear.
Yes, thank you. With his perseverance, we've been able to award, along with our organization, over $12,000 yearly. And during the construction of this beautiful campus, Fred was instrumental on having donations from Ridge. We would like to congratulate the class, of 2021 upon your graduation and wished you life's best in your journey of life. We also will extend to all alumni and friends to join our organization as members helping to pay back for our education from Elyria schools. We have functions, money-raising functions, and gladly will accept donations, which all add up for a scholarship for Senior Awards Night. So Fred, would you like to say something?
Well, just that, first of all, to thank you, Shirley. They put in a lot of work, the Alumni Association, the Friends of Elyria Schools and Alumni Association. We've been very happy to help support them, and as Shirley mentioned, she does an awesome job in collecting these scholarship applications up. We have an outstanding group, and really, I mean, this group, I know their parents are very proud of them. Certainly the school is, and hopefully through these scholarships, you'll understand the community is as well. So with that, let's
Okay.
pass the money out.
Kelly, Abby. Malaya Abbott. I should be telling you, these are each $500 ships. Tommy Dillinger, $500. I tried to have them in alphabetical order here for you. Sarah Fennick, $1,500. Spencer Gotchling, $1,000. Celeste Kaplan, $500. Natasha Nolan, $500. Taylor Melly, $1,000. Ava Mugford, $2,000. Tabitha Shinsky, $500. Lauren Schweitzer, $1,000. Ethan Trampush, $500. And Catherine Wood, $2,000. So they all had wonderful essays, and it was hard to judge everybody, of course, but we're very proud of these recipients, and I'm sure the school is too. So good luck, kids, on your future. Okay? That was good. Okay.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, thanks, guys. Next, we have at Elyria High's Social Studies teacher, Mr. John Wallace, to give out the Eastern Star Scholarship.
Hello, thank you. First of all, congratulations to all of this year's awardees for the recognition of their efforts throughout the chaos of this high school career. The Orders of the Eastern Star is a fraternal organization of men and women committed to providing an environment of friendship and fellowship by implementing innovative ideas, facilitating positive change, and planning for the future through mutual respect and service. The Eastern Star Scholarship is based on scholastic record, character, need, and the purpose for which the student is seeking a higher education. On behalf of the Order Eastern Star, I am honored to present future Ohio State Buckeye Taylor Mell as this year's $1,000 scholarship. Thank you.
Next, we have I'm sorry about that. We have Captain William from the Military Officers Association of America.
Good evening. Thank you for having us. MOA, Military Officers Association of America, is a little-known membership of former and present military officers of all the 7 armed services in the United States. The Cleveland chapter, Greater Cleveland chapter of MOA, every year makes available a scholarship to graduating seniors, multiple scholarships, I should say, to graduating seniors from various junior ROTC units around northeastern Ohio, of which there's about 25 that we support. Unfortunately, we've lost a couple to COVID. But let me assure you, the competition for this $2,000 scholarship is very keen, to say the very least. I had the pleasure of being able to interview the young lady that we're going to award the scholarship tonight from Elyria High School. I've done in excess of 100 interviews with high school seniors. I have never, very honestly, I've never seen a high school senior give a better verbal interview in my life. So speaking for the Cleveland MOA chapter, we are very proud to offer a $2,000 scholarship to Kayla Coos. Kayla will be attending Baldwin Wallace in the fall and majoring in physics. Congratulations, you look taller, but you look great in your uniform. Just very quickly, this is all the paperwork, but what you're gonna need to keep along with that. This tells you what you need to do to make this thing happen, okay? If for some reason with BW they mess it up, give Lieutenant Colonel Jenkins a yell, get a hold of us, so we'll get it squared away. All right, congratulations again. Thank you.
I don't think BW is going to mess it up, Captain William, if they know you're behind it. Dr. Jessica Tomsick from the United States Military Academy at West Point.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Glad I wore my heels, so. I'm the local admission liaison for the 9th Congressional District for West Point. So to start this off, I just want to give a little bit of background about West Point because this is a big deal. The mission of West Point is very simple, very clear: to educate, train, and inspire the Corps of Cadets so that each graduate is a commissioned leader of character, committed to the values of duty, honor, country, and prepared for a career of professional excellence and service to the nation as an officer in the United States Army. Those who are accepted to attend West Point will spend 4 exceptionally challenging years at a beautiful, historic, and Very demanding place, and I say that from experience, that is unquestionably the world's premier leadership institution, a place that has produced such famous leaders as Dwight D. Eisenhower, Douglas MacArthur, Benjamin O. Davis, both senior and junior, Norman Schwarzkopf, Nadia West, and astronaut Anne McClain. Currently, over 4,400 cadets from throughout the United States, Guam, Puerto Rico, and 25 foreign nations attend West Point. In addition to leadership, West Point is also among the nation's top academic institutions. It offers over 45 academic majors in both science and humanities, has produced more Rhodes Scholars than any other college or university in the country, except Harvard, Yale, and Princeton. In addition to the challenging academic program, West Point cadets also undergo rigorous and mandatory physical training, leadership development, moral, ethical training, to develop within them those attributes essential to become a commissioned leader of character as an active duty Army officer serving our soldiers, our Army, and our nation. With such emphasis placed on academics, leadership, character, and physical development for every cadet, there is no doubt why West Point has been frequently described as the most robust and challenging collegiate learning institution in our country. For some perspective, this year, over 14,000 students opened admission files thinking that they have prepared themselves for the rigors of entering the long gray line. However, only about 4,000 discovered that they're actually qualified academically, physically, medically, and received a nomination. And of that number, this year, out of 14,000 who started an application at the Academy, 1,200 received the offer letter. And I think we're all proud to say tonight one of Elyria's own has joined the select group and will become a member of the Long Gray Line. Ethan is a great example of the young Americans West Point seeks to lead our soldiers and the Army. Like Ethan, this year's new cadets are well-rounded at the top of their peer group in 3 areas: academics, leadership, and athletics. Academically, the combined average math and verbal SAT scores for a typical entering class is around 1380. In the leadership arena, almost 90% of a typical class earned varsity letters in at least one sport. Many are multiple varsity letter athletes, and nearly 70% were designated team captains in one or more sports. A significant number of them were also Eagle Scouts, Gold Award winners, Boys or Girls States reps, and presidents of their class, student body, or extracurricular school or community organizations. Ethan has demonstrated an exceptionally high level of achievement in all the areas I mentioned. Upon graduation from West Point, Ethan will become a member of the noblest profession in the world, an active duty Army officer. As an Army officer, he will be entrusted with the responsibility of leading many of your sons and daughters around the world, wherever duty may call. In these trying and uncertain times, it is important that we all realize the magnitude of this responsibility. And he has proven to date that he has what it takes to succeed, not only at West Point, but also in our Army. I am very confident that Ethan will do a great job at West Point. I know that his family, friends, and community are all very proud of him. Ethan is an example of what can be possible for every student in every classroom throughout Elyria, Lorain County, and Ohio. And in saying this and acknowledging Ethan's exceptional accomplishments, I would be absolutely remiss if I did not also take a brief moment to recognize his parents, Holly and Frank. As human beings, we are all a product of our combined environments in the home, in school, and in the local community. Excellence does not happen by chance or luck. A successful student springs forth from dedicated parents who are willing to invest the personal effort, dedication, and time to be the mentor, role model, guide, friend, and yes, at times, a disciplinarian for over 18 years of their child's life. And then comes a time they release their child into the world to continue the experience of living, growing, sharing, and serving. Holly and Frank, very well done. Ethan Trampish, come forward. Now, I have a couple more things because I really want to put this in terms that I think we can all wrap our heads around. So Ethan, by attending West Point, receives a full 4-year college scholarship valued in excess of $300,000. So Ethan, on behalf of the President of the United States, the Superintendent, it gives me great pleasure to present you with the certificate of appointment, welcoming you to the West Point class of 2025.
Thank you.
Congratulations to your family, to you, and go Army.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Next, we have Mr. Jeremy Wilt from College Now and the Greater Cleveland Scholarship.
Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to congratulate all the seniors on their graduation and everybody here for receiving, the scholarships that they're receiving. But I'd also like to congratulate all the parents. Obviously, without you guys, none of this would have ever happened. So congratulations to all of you. One of the College Now advisors here in the building, along with Ann Gates, who couldn't be here this evening, and every year, College Now gives out the traditional scholarship. College Now has a footprint in 4 counties, Cuyahoga, Lorain, Summit, and Medina, and they serve over 80 different schools. Every year we receive over 750, 800 applications for the scholarship. So the select 4 that I have to present to this evening are in very select company. The scholarship is of varying amounts, anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500, and it is a 4-year renewable scholarship, provided the students maintain their academic requirements, which I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, obviously, that shouldn't be a problem for anyone. But the first 4 I would like to present for the College Now Traditional Scholarship: Kyla Koch, Emily Levis, Trista Yance, and Taylor Mell. Again, these scholarships are 4-year renewable scholarships, anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500. In addition to receiving the College Now Traditional Scholarship, Taylor Mell is also the recipient of the Thaxton Scholarship. This is a scholarship that is between, I don't want to call it a competition, but we'll call it a competition between Lorain High School and Elyria High School. And Taylor is the recipient of a $2,500 scholarship in addition to the College Now Traditional Scholarship that she has received. So again, congratulations to these ladies. Congratulations, everyone. And thank you.
Next, we have Elyria High French teacher, Mademoiselle Radin. Or Mademoiselle Griffiths.
Good evening. Miss Radin had a family emergency, was unable to be here tonight. So I, at this time, would like to recognize Trista Yance for earning the Seal of Biliteracy in French. This is an award that is given out by the Ohio Department of Education that recognizes a particularly high level of proficiency in a foreign language. This process began in the junior year of high school and involves, like I said, rigorous testing on her level of proficiency in that language and results in a significant amount of college credit earned prior to her starting college. Congratulations.
Next, we have Elyria High School Athletic Director, Ms. Heather Beck.
Good evening. Each year, the Elyria Sports Hall of Fame awards 4 $500 scholarships. This year, 2 of the scholarship winners were selected from Elyria High School. The first recipient is Lauren Schweitzer. Lauren is a cheerleader, participated in marching and concert bands, served as vice president of the Key Club, is a member of Leo Club, the Link Crew, and National Honor Society. She maintained a 4.71 GPA throughout her high school career and is described by her teachers as responsible, hardworking, and enthusiastic. Our second recipient from Elyria High School is Taylor Mell. Taylor is a 4-year member of the basketball team and a 2-year member of the volleyball team. She is also a member of the Link Crew, Student Council, served as a class officer, and is also a member of the National Honor Society. Taylor maintained a 4.7 GPA during her high school career and is described by her teachers and coaches as having an excellent work ethic, self-discipline, and time management. It is my honor to recognize Lauren and Taylor for their hard work throughout their high school careers with a $500 scholarship on behalf of the Elyria Sports Hall of Fame. The Rick Wagner Memorial Scholarship is awarded each year in memory of Rick Wagner, an EHS math teacher, dedicated coach, and athletic administrator. For 9 years, Rick battled leukemia, succumbing to the illness in December of 2000. At the time of his death, memorial contributions were made to the Elyria High School Athletic Department. With the help of the Pioneer Club and the Elyria High School Student Council, his family was able to establish a $500 annual scholarship awarded to a graduating male athlete who represents all that Rick stood for: excellence in the classroom and on the field of athletics. The 2021 Rick Wagner Memorial Scholarship winner is Justin Pandy, and this is a $500 scholarship. The Jim Vincent Memorial Scholarship was established by friends and family in 1988. Coach V, as he was affectionately known, personified the qualities of unselfishness, warmth, and caring for others as he exhibited unwavering love for his student athletes. This year's Jim Vincent Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 is awarded to Taylor Mell.
Next, we have Elyria High School Choir Director, Miss Kaylee Bonzio.
Hello. Our first award is the A Cappella Choir Scholarship. The A Cappella Choir is one of the top ensembles at Elyria High School, not only musically, but its students serve as role models for the rest of the department. I cannot think of a better student to give this award to. She has been a role model since her freshman year, not only for other students, but for me as well. Her organizational skills and overall tenacity is something to be admired, so I'm so happy to give this $400 award to Ms. Parker Scott. Our next award is two $1,000 each scholarships for the Shelley Petrillo Memorial Scholarship. Shelley was a choir member, and we give this award to students who really exemplify someone who's committed to the music department in general. Our first recipient is not only a choir member, but an orchestra member who came to choir a little bit late, but has committed wholeheartedly throughout her time. She is a ray of sunshine and a wonderful human, and I'm so excited to give the first award to Malia Abbott. Our second award is to another student who has been a lifelong choir member, but also is a band member as well. She is a talented musician who always does her best, and I'm happy to give this award to Ms. Julia Collins. The final scholarship tonight is the J. Martin Beck Founders Memorial Scholarship. J. Martin Beck founded the choir department here at Elyria. So this scholarship goes to someone who really commits themselves to the choir department, but also has a deep understanding of what music can do for your life. Her essay was really beautiful about how music helped her throughout her journey in high school, and I'm so excited to give this $500 scholarship to Miss Jackie Lascola. Thank you.
Next, we have Elyria High School Building Principal, Mr. Tim Brown.
Good evening. Before we announce our recipient tonight, I'd like to take a moment to thank Miss Julie Oka, our Associate Principal, for emceeing tonight. What a wonderful job she's done. And I'd also like to thank our Board of Education and our Superintendent for all their hard work they've done this year to make tonight's event possible, as well as our graduation, which will be an in-person, on-field ceremony June 8th. So we're excited for that opportunity and can't thank you enough for all your hard work in that. There were a couple of guidelines and conditions we had to deal with, and one of those was to try to socially distance, obviously, and cut down some of the length. So the good news is the 30 minutes I cut out of the ceremony speech, I'm prepared to give you tonight. And Mr. Cake knows I like to talk. So you guys are ready for an extra 30 minutes, right? No? All right, I'll cut you a deal. If you were here for Scholastic E, you'll remember I mentioned that Mr. Cake would wear a tie at graduation. He's done one better. He's in a tie tonight. So if you would like a photo op after tonight's ceremony, he will stick around and you can have your picture taken with Mr. Cake, and maybe the third time ever he's wore a tie. All right, the reason I'm up here, and I appreciate you entertaining my humor. This is a difficult part of my job, and this is probably one of the toughest things for me to do, especially since it is a memorial scholarship. I've been blessed to be a part of the Elyria family for 20 plus years, and in any big family you have smaller groups, and one of our smaller groups is our administrative team at the building level and the district level. And Lisa Lick was an elementary principal that I am proud and privileged to say wasn't just a colleague, but was a dear friend. And I had the distinct pleasure of, once I came to Elyria High School, her son was a student at Elyria High School. And Stephen is now finishing his junior year of college at the University of Toledo. So when his mom passed away 3 years ago, it just seemed right that the administrators would create the Lisa Lick Memorial Scholarship and recognize at least one student for the next 13 years that would have gone to Franklin Elementary School, where Lisa was their principal. And this is now the 4th time we've been able to award a student that is following in Lisa's dreams and doing whatever it takes to make sure they can chase their dreams. And I am proud to announce that this year's $500 recipient of the Lisa Lick Scholarship is Tabitha Shinsky. And while she makes her way, I can fill this time with that 30 minutes of extra material.
Next, we have Elyria Education Association President, Ms. Linda Aganaga.
Good evening, everyone. This year, the recipient of the Elyria Education Association Scholarship goes to Kennedy Shaver. Kennedy Shaver is our sole recipient for our $1,000 scholarship to any student who is going into the field of education. After reading her essay, I wanted to share a quote that I think most people can appreciate, especially after a year that our students went through along with our educators for our COVID education, our virtual experience, and it's going to, I think, just like your essay pointed out, it's going to help her be an even better teacher. Her quote, though, that I wanted to share with you is, I don't want to be just the best teacher possible, but I want to make sure my students are the best version of themselves too. And that is the kind of educator that we all can hope for and encourage along in her journey. Thank you.
Next, we have Elyria High Team 1 counselor, Michelle Kirsch.
Good evening. My name is Ms. Oka said, is Michelle Kirsch. I am the Team 1 counselor here at the high school, and I have the pleasure of presenting the next 3 scholarships on behalf of those scholarships that could not be in attendance tonight. The first is the Elyria Schools Support Staff Scholarship. The Elyria Schools Support Staff Scholarship is awarded to children or grandchildren of active Elyria Schools Support Staff members. Elyria School Support Staff consists of food services, custodial, maintenance, paraprofessionals, and secretaries. This year's Elyria School Support Staff recipients are Natasha Knowlton, Rafe Bailey, and Spencer Goshling. Congratulations. They will be receiving a $500 scholarship each. Well done. Spencer, Rafe, congratulations. The second scholarship I have the pleasure of announcing is, well, from a family of educators and being an educator myself, it is my pleasure to introduce the Orrin R. Finley, William and Betty Lute Scholarship Fund of the Lorain County Retired Teachers Association. And they recently changed the name because they received a huge donation. So instead of just the Orrin R. Finley, they added the William and Betty Lute name. The purpose of the scholarship is to celebrate education and educators in Lorain County. This is their way, the Retired Teachers Association's way of giving back. Now, this is the first year we've presented this award here at the high school because typically, prior to COVID, they have a luncheon, it used to be at DeLuca's, and where they would recognize and honor the recipients of those scholarships and their families. So I get the pleasure of presenting on behalf of Virginia Wartitsky, who is a retired teacher from Elyria High. And I look forward to that luncheon every year, and it's truly an honor to see all the amazing young people we have and their futures ahead of them. So this year they gave actually 8 $1,500 scholarships, and yeah, that was an increase, and looking to do more each and every year. So to qualify, the applicant must be a Lorain County resident who is the child, grandchild, niece, or nephew of a current or retired Lorain County educator, certified and serving or having served in a professional capacity. There are no stipulations as to the field. This year's recipient is Kennedy Shaver. Congratulations, Kennedy. And I believe Kennedy already received her check, so this is your certificate to go along with it. The next scholarship is the Les Charmés Club Scholarship. The Les Charmés Club, Incorporated, is giving out 1,000 scholarships to a student attending a 4-year university and 3 $500 scholarships to students attending a 2-year university. It is my pleasure to announce Catherine Wood as this year's recipient of a $500 scholarship. And I believe, Catherine, correct me if I'm wrong, that she will be attending or starting off at LCCC this fall. Yeah? Congratulations. And I believe she already received hers as well, so we'll just do a handshake. Thank you.
Next, we have Elyria High Team 1 Principal, Ms. Courtney Griffiths, for the Aramark Food Service Scholarships.
I'm very proud to present these awards on behalf of Aramark. Aramark has been a proud partner with Elyria City Schools since 2019. Throughout the pandemic, Aramark was able to support the food services department in serving more than 50,000 meals weekly to ensure that our students had food while attending school or as a virtual learner. We are grateful, in the words of Aramark, we are grateful to be able to support the district and the community in their time of need, and we are proud of all of the students who have worked hard at their education through unforeseeable circumstances. Aramark is delighted to present $8,000 in scholarships to student scholars in the school district. Each of the following students has been awarded a $1,000 scholarship. As I announce your names, please make your way to the stage. Malia Abbott, Amari Davis, Ben Dawson, Sarah Finnick, Tiaja Henderson, Ava Mugford, Enrique Munguia, and Justin Pandy. We'll get a nice picture in the middle of everything. Waiting for the photographers to be able to get their picture. And we will mail you the letter with the instructions for claiming your scholarship. And there they are, the Airmark Food Service winners.
Next, we have the freshman Team 2 and 4 counselor, Mrs. Betsy Trump, for the Jack H. Abbey Memorial Scholarship.
Good evening. I am thrilled to be able to introduce this scholarship tonight. This evening, I will be announcing it in both Spanish and English. Jack H. Abbey dejó en su testamento un regalo generoso para ser distribuido por el Elyria City Schools cada año. El comité de la beca busca un estudiante quien ha trabajado durante el colegio y va a asistir a una universidad de 4 años. Nuestro beneficiario este año tiene un cuento único e inspirador de triunfo y resolución. Él se mudó a los Estados Unidos hace 2 años con habilidades limitadas de inglés y en unos meses va a inscribirse en la Universidad de Pittsburgh-Greensburg. Yo estoy contenta de presentar la beca de Jack H. Abbey a Derek López Guzmán. I'll let the rest of you understand while he's on his way down. Jack H. Abbey left in his will a generous gift to be distributed by the Elyria Public Schools each year. The scholarship committee looks for a student who has found value in being employed during high school and is attending a 4-year college or university. Our recipient this year has a unique and inspirational story of triumph and determination. He moved to the United States just 2 years ago with very limited English skills, and in just a few months will enroll at the University of Pittsburgh-Greensburg. We are so honored to provide the Jack H. Abbey Scholarship to Derek López Guzmán.
And last but not least, for the final time, Mr. John Cake presenting 3 scholarships. Here he is. In case you didn't know, he's retiring.
You know, if Ms. Trump was really cool or good, she would have done that also in French, Russian, Armenian. What's that? I'm going to try English. Not very good at that. And by the way, I think we're at about an hour and a half. Usually we go 2.5, serve breakfast, all that kind of stuff. But if Mr. Brown would have talked, we would have hit the 2.5 hour, because in Brown minutes, a half hour is really like 60 minutes or 90 or something like that. And before I do this, I want to let you know that I do not like ties, but I think I have the coolest tie out of anybody here, just to mention that. And it is for sale at the end of the program. Hey, the last 3 scholarships that we have, we sort of lump these together because they're part of a thing that we do here. Pre-COVID, what we would do is we would collect the scholarship applications, and then we would spend a day interviewing the students. And the interview process was just a nice added bonus. And it was something I think if the other committee members would probably agree to, was inspiring. Our kids that we have here at the high school are incredible. And you think of the things that you enjoy the most of working in education. It's a high honor, and I'm not getting soapy here, but this is the truth, a high honor to work with your sons and your daughters here at the high school. So with that being said, this year we couldn't do the interviews. Everything was based upon the applications themselves. And most of these scholarships that we have here, the three, provided through foundations of very prominent families that lived in Elyria even before I was born. So they've been around for a little bit. The first scholarship that we're going to look at is looked over by the Cleveland Foundation. It's called the Ada Gates Memorial Scholarship. In this scholarship, it recognizes somebody who falls within the top 10% of the class and who we feel will use their talents and their gifts and their careers to benefit and serve others. So with that being said, the winner of the Ada Gates Memorial Scholarship is Parker Scott. Now, the Cleveland Foundation also provided us with this really cool certificate that we ran off on our color printer, and I hold it here. And I knew Parker would rather have the certificate than the money. So at this point, I'd like to present you with this. And also, the scholarship comes to $1,500 a year renewable for 3 additional years. Okay, Parker, there you go. Make sure you read that carefully. What's that? You can go. Okay, but I'll miss you. Okay, the next scholarship is the Arthur Garford Scholarship. This scholarship is set to go to someone who's going to enter the field of education. This year's recipient of the Garford Scholarship is Kennedy Shaver. The Garford Scholarship this year is administered, it's administered every year by our district, and it's worth $1,000 a year and renewable for 3 additional years. Congrats, okay. Our last scholarship of the night is the Walter and Ella Peak Scholarship. This scholarship goes to a student who not only achieves in the area of academics, but also in other areas such as activities, participation, and extracurriculars. This year's recipient of the Walter G. and Ella M. Peak Scholarship is Emma Shaw Toth. And I hope I said that right. Hey, Emma Shaw, did I say that right? What's that? Not N? Oh, okay. This scholarship is worth, this is done by a foundation, so the number is a little quirky. This scholarship is worth $1,181, renewable for 3 additional years. Em, congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much.
There you go. Read that very carefully. Okay, thank you.
I just wanted to say a quick note to the Airmark Scholarship winners. We do have the letters, so please touch base with me before you leave the pack tonight, okay?
Okay, before we end the program, I wanted to leave you with this. I told myself I wasn't going to discuss all the things COVID has taken away from this class because I know these kids are probably tired of hearing the word COVID. Instead, I want to remind them how they persevered. When I think of perseverance, I think of a line from a poem written 250 years ago. And in case you didn't know, I was an English teacher back in the day, so that part of me is never going to go away. The poem is called To a Mouse by Robert Burns, and the line is this: "The best laid plans of mice and men often go astray." But to understand the quote, you have to know a little bit about the poem, and I'm not going to go line by line and do an analysis right now, even though I would love to do that. Gets my juices rolling. But the gist of the poem is this: a mouse created this nice little warm house in the farmer's field, and for all intents and purposes, he thought that that house was going to be great for him for the winter. And he was getting ready to settle down into the winter. It was late fall, and something happened. Something unexpected happened. And that something was the farmer came and plowed up the field, and he plowed up the mouse's house. And now the mouse doesn't have anywhere to live, and winter is coming fast. And can you imagine how that mouse felt? The uncertainty, the fear, the anger, and the sense of loss. Does that sound familiar to any of you students in here? A little bit. Believe it or not, the poem ends there. We never find out what does happen to that mouse. Does he give up and die in the cold, or does he persevere? I bet he felt the same as maybe you did when the pandemic robbed you of so much. You probably felt uncertain. You probably felt afraid. Maybe you felt angry and overwhelmed with loss. But tonight proves that you put your chin up and you persevered, and I like to think that the mouse did too. The best laid plans of mice and men often go astray. It's what you do when life has other plans for you that makes a difference. Not only did you persevere, you excelled in a time of uncertainty. For that, you should be extremely proud. Can we get a round of applause one more time for the class of 2021? Lastly, I want to say thank you to the parents. Again, going with what was already said before, these kids wouldn't be where they're at right now if it weren't for you. So great job on doing your job as parents. I have a daughter that's in 9th grade. I'm already starting to look around the room a little bit here. Who was going to West Point? I like that. Definitely give yourselves a pat on the back for these kids. They're great kids here. We are definitely going to miss them. Thank you to the staff, the community members that came in and joined us tonight. And to you students, if you think about it, in 5 days, that's the next time I'm going to see you. You'll all be in your caps and gowns at Elyria Stadium, lining up, getting ready to take on the world. Have a great night, everyone, and thank you for coming.